This is ABC15 Mornings.
Another possible case of the coronavirus confirmed here in Arizona as the nation prepares for a national emergency after the growing pandemic strikes.
More districts across the state closing their schools because of the coronavirus, but parents are left in limbo for childcare. Not to worry though, we're going to show you how businesses are stepping in to help.
A family asking for your help after they were trying to carry out the final wishes of their two grandparents. It all came to a screeching halt in the valley.
So hopefully we can give you some hope on this Saturday morning. We do thank all of our early risers for starting your day off with us. I'm Nohelani Graff.
And I'm Zach Crenshaw. It is a beautiful Saturday morning. We've seen the rain lately, and it's really kind of making our state look a little bit different.
Absolutely. One, as you drive around, you're going to notice it's far more green. My mom is visiting in town, and she was like, well, it looks a little different here right now with the wildflowers,
nice.
And the mountains have more greenery, right? And then here's the other thing that you don't see every day. Of course, CAMELBAck, one of the most popular hikes in the valley, but you could almost swim yesterday. Check out the waterfall. When was the last time you saw that flowing off of CAMELBAck? I mean, just a gorgeous, gorgeous shot. Our Cliff Castle chopper catching that view.
Right, I joked earlier, get your body wash and conditioner. Head on out there. Nothing like some crisp, clean
you
spring
can have
water.
A getaway moment right there. So, and also notice the line of greenery through the little canyon there. That's what we were talking about. So right now, clouds and radar showing us that we do have clear skies here in the valley. We had a few early morning showers and snow showers up in the high country. Those seem to be tapering off at this time. Zooming in closer to Flagstaff, you can see the little bit of blue and pink spots. That's some higher elevation snow up in the Flagstaff area. The Tonto Creek Basin does still have an aerial flood advisory. That's going to remain in effect through Monday afternoon. So be aware the crossings are impassable at this time. So just be very mindful. Back here in the valley, it is a nice morning, like Zach said. Step out on that back patio, open the windows up, and have a nice hot cup of tea or coffee. We're in the mid-50s right now. We're going to stay in the 50s for a little while. We'll be slow to warm up, but I promise you we will warm up today. I'll talk about that high forecast coming up in just moments.
Yeah, step on the patio, but keep ABC 15 on in the living room, right?
There you go.
Well, the rain may have cleared, but some of the flooding is still going to be a problem. All crossings at Tonto Creek are closed, and it's forcing the Gila County Sheriff's Office to actually fly prescriptions to people in need, and they're cut off due to those rushing waters. We see it all the time when it rains. Deputies are sharing this video with us, showing them flying drones with medicine over the creek. That helps drivers to not make that dangerous trip across the Tonto Basin. As we've seen, people have gotten taken away by those floodwaters in the past. We continue to say it, but here in the valley too, turn around, don't drown. Over the past 24 hours, 3 separate water rescues here in the Phoenix metro following the heavy rain. Now first, a driver was able to escape from their car near Cave Creek Road in Hatcher in Phoenix. Our Cliff Castle chopper flying over that yesterday. You can see the water flowing quickly down that alleyway. And 3 people had to be rescued from their cars at the I-17 near Greenway. The chopper showing several vehicles stranded in the water right there. You see the tow truck helping one of them out. Firefighters able to walk everyone to dry land due to that flooding. And then over in the far west valley, an SUV swept away by the water. You see that kind of silver one in the middle of that flood near 319th Ave and Baseline. The driver rescued by crews as well. They slowly guided her to dry ground and safety.
Well, this is a tough one, but maybe you can make a difference. A family robbed of their loved ones is now pleading for help this morning, weeks after 2 irreplaceable urns were stolen. ABC 15's Nicole Valdez reports the family is just trying to carry out their parents' final wish.
That was one of the worst feelings of my whole life.
It was supposed to be their final journey. Bob and Tom SCHRAM hoping to make their parents' last wish come true.
Their wishes were to have their ashes spread in the Sea of Cortez. And we're here now, but we don't have any ashes to spread.
Together for more than 40 years, Joyce and Harold SCHRAM were inseparable.
They touched a lot of people throughout the years.
The Michigan couple spent most of their time in Baja, California.
I mean, it's kind of like their first home, really.
So it was only fitting when they both passed, their remains lie there.
Well, he never made it.
The SCHRAM brothers took off from White Lake, Michigan with a trailer in tow. Their parents' ashes inside locked boxes mounted on top of several ATVs. and they headed southwest, stopping in Chandler for a few days and stayed at this Quality Inn off Chandler and Kyrene.
I just kind of glanced outside to where the trailer was parked, which is not very far from our room, and it was gone.
But a few hours later at the Lone Butte Casino, Chandler police found the trailer minus everything they had on it, including their beloved parents.
I can understand them stealing the ATVs because they had some value, but who's got value in my parents' ashes, you know? I mean, why would they take them? It's beyond me.
Silent Witness offering $1,000 to anyone who can help this mourning family send their loved ones off in peace. In Chandler, Nicole Valdez, ABC 15, Arizona.
More local news now. 2 different police shootings within 30 minutes of each other. First last night in Phoenix. It happened near 24th Street in Buckeye. We're told a man with a knife moved toward officers, and that's when he was shot. Then over in Chandler, near Arizona Avenue and Chandler Boulevard, police were responding to a domestic violence call when they say a man pointed a weapon at them. The suspects in both of those cases were taken to nearby hospitals.
Also happening overnight, the House passed a sweeping coronavirus relief package ensuring Americans are protected if they come down with the virus. Now, it included paid sick leave and added tax credits for small and medium-sized businesses. This as cases of COVID-19 reach more than 2,000 in the U.S. and more states continue to confirm new cases, including right here in Arizona, where our possible 10th case is being investigated by the Pima County Health Department. And we're working to learn more about this person and their condition, as well as how they contracted the virus. Not a lot of information about the contraction. We are continuing to push leaders for answers because we know it's on your mind as well. Meanwhile, look at the latest numbers worldwide. There are more than 143,000 cases of the coronavirus, with more than 5,300 deaths. And despite the recommendation to keep schools open, districts across Arizona are shutting down.
Parents have been keeping close tabs on this, wondering what's going to happen as spring break ends and school year is supposed to continue. Overnight, Pendergast adding to that long list of closures for another week. State Superintendent Kathy Hoffman following the suggestion of the Department of Health Services to keep schools open. However, many districts, including Tempe Union, Kyrene, Alhambra Elementary, all closing to avoid the spread of coronavirus. And Hoffman says that even with schools going against the grain, they will not face detention.
What's most important to me is making sure that we are not punishing schools, that there are no punitive measures, because we know that schools are making these very difficult decisions to be protective and proactive for their school communities.
And here's the thing, Hoffman does expect that more school districts will make the decision on their own to close. So we're going to continue to keep our list updated for you on ABC15.com. Now, Mesa Public Schools, the largest in the state, it's not going to close its schools. But parents don't all agree with that. Some even creating an online petition urging the interim superintendent to close all the schools in the Mesa School District. We spoke with parents who signed that petition on change.org, and one mom who has 3 kids in the district says that, yeah, it would be inconvenient, but believes that it is best to stop the spread.
This is so serious, and it will just be for a short time, and then we can mitigate some of the impact of this virus if we can just sacrifice a week or two, and they can always tack it on at the end of the calendar year.
Now, some parents told us they may not even send their kids back on Monday, regardless of what the district decides. The closure of school districts across the valley also creating an issue for parents who are not able to find or, quite frankly, afford childcare during their child's time off. But coming up in our next half hour, we're going to show you how some local businesses and nonprofits are jumping in to try to help those of you who need it.
And we know there's a lot of uncertainty, a lot of questions about the coronavirus as more cases continue to pop up in the U.S. You know, how does it spread? How do you protect your family? We're going to answer these questions in a special report as we bust the biggest myths with reliable information and facts.
So this weekend, we're going to have plenty of opportunities to keep you informed. Part of that is watching Coronavirus The Facts. That is a special newscast that we're going to be airing tonight at 5 o'clock right here on ABC 15. Then we'll re-air it at 9:30 this evening on CW61 Arizona. And if you miss both of those, you can catch a rebroadcast tomorrow afternoon at 4 right here on ABC 15. Now, for sports fans, I know this has been rough. No March Madness.
Hits me right in the heart.
NHL, MLB, NBA basketball. That's just naming a few, really. But that means it's going to free up a lot of time for the whole family to engage together, right?
It really will. We found a list in light of the very serious pandemic of things that you can do to keep idle. A lot of people are wondering this. I mean, sure, we're talking about the coronavirus, but self-quarantining is a real thing. So here's what you can do. One, do your taxes. We know you've been procrastinating those.
Absolutely.
Myself included. No excuse not to crank those out at home. Clean out your email inbox if you have a couple thousand sitting there. And
Guilty.
why not get a jump on spring cleaning? You can also catch up on sleep, get a good nap, or start a new Netflix series.
I think that there have been plenty of people asking, certainly on my social media feed, what are you watching right now?
Right.
What is binge worthy, right? So you can do all of those things. You can also pick up a book. You know, let's go old school, folks. Let's put down the social media, or if you do pick up the phone, maybe use it to call your family, your friends, reconnect with that. You know, people are still around. And of course, I know that you might be feeling a little stir crazy with all the cancellations, which we are continuing to update on ABC15.com. But also, what did we do before we had all of these events? We got outside in nature.
Absolutely. And hung out with each other. I mean, it might be the opportunity to say, hey, let's go for a walk, honey, in the neighborhood.
Right.
And
nobody says that you
reconnect.
can't invite your 5 closest friends to have a barbecue at your house if you're being safe.
Just make sure they don't have a fever or a
If
cough.
everybody is healthy and you wipe everything down, it's okay. So right now, as you step outside, we're in the mid-50s. This afternoon, though, I think we've got a nice warm up on the way, 71 degrees. If you need to get the lawn mowed after all these days of rain and you're starting to see the weeds in the backyard, I know I saw them yesterday. We're going to give you the green light all weekend long, right on through Monday, to get that yard work done. You don't have to worry about rain. Once we get to Tuesday, though, different story. We do have another storm system that we're tracking, so I'm going to talk about that coming up in our full forecast. But first, a mountain lion attacks caught on camera. It is pretty incredible video right there, and we're going to show you what led up to that.
Wow. And an employee in the Maricopa County detention system accused of trying to lure a young girl for sex. And police say he could have more victims out there.
Also, taking a look back at what some say is Arizona's closest UFO encounter. You know what we're talking about here, the Phoenix Lights mystery, happening 23 years ago this week. Time to start remembering, dig into the brain bank of how it all went down. We'll talk about it coming up in a bit.
A terrifying attack caught on camera. Check this out. A female deputy in Colorado fighting off a wild mountain lion at an RV park. It happened after deputies were called out for another person being attacked by the animal. That cougar there was eventually shot and killed. The injuries to the officer and the other victim minor. We're glad they're okay, but wow, not often that you see that kind of interaction with a wild mountain lion. Well, a Maricopa County detention officer is accused of soliciting an 11-year-old girl in the valley for sex. And this morning, the El Mirage police chief says there could be more victims out there. The suspect, Miguel Diaz, police say he pulled up next to the girl in his vehicle and asked if she wanted to have sex with him. This allegedly happening on March 2nd. Police just now releasing this surveillance video and pictures of his car. You see it in the top right corner there. They're hoping other victims may recognize his car and his mugshot and come forward. Neighbors, meanwhile, shocked by the allegations.
I honestly, to tell you the truth, it's scary. Like I said, there are a lot of small children that play around here during the summertime, and a lot of them are young females, just on this side of the street alone.
Diaz now locked up in his former workplace. Now, the same day police say Diaz solicited that 11-year-old girl, Peoria PD was called to West Green Park as Diaz was accused of following kids there. El Mirage police also have had run-ins with him in 2013 and 2015.
Boy, you hear it before you see it. Listen to the wind there, and then combined it with snow. Boy, it was pretty miserable at times up in Flagstaff. This is yesterday. We want to thank Elsie for sharing this video with us. That is the kind of thing you only want to see from inside through the window.
Yeah, you don't want to feel that. I wonder if she was outside taking that video. That's dedication. Thank you.
Absolutely. We appreciate you, Elsie, because we can also see how wet the roads are, so you know rain went in with that snow too. So pretty miserable conditions. Back here in the valley, this one was a head turner. A funnel cloud spotted in Surprise yesterday morning. Hannah sent us this picture and video, and just unbelievable to see, especially with the blue skies in the background. That's what really stands out to me in this photo.
And the cloud above it is so dark gray and then just white all around it. I'm no meteorologist, I'm not an expert, but just how bizarre. Definitely something you want to pull out your phone and record.
Absolutely. And we appreciate all of you who did. Remember, share@abc15.com is the email address to send us your videos and your photos, especially if you see something like that. I have a feeling we're setting up right now to get a lot of sunrise photos. It's shaping up to be a gorgeous day after those storms have moved out.
Right. We always have beautiful sunrises, as it looks like we see one right now on our Mayo Clinic cam. But when it rains, it takes it to another level.
Absolutely. So we just have a few of those clouds left in the far distance there. Other areas of the valley, you'll see a few clouds. Live view of the Papagos this morning, and just the colors are brilliant. That orange glow is so stunning. Clouds and radar overnight showing us the rain band that passed through our state off to our west. We got a few sprinkles here in the valley overnight. So as you wake up, the grass might still be just a little damp, but we are dry this morning. Temperatures are also cooler statewide. 49 in Gila Bend, 45 out in Casa Grande. We're in the mid-50s along our western border. Up in the high country, we have several freezing spots this morning. 32 in Flagstaff. Heber has dropped below freezing this morning to 30 degrees. We're in the upper 30s in Show Low and Window Rock this morning. Across the valley, our outlying valley cities are also chilly as well. We're in the upper 40s in Queen Creek, Gilbert, and Chandler. Fountain Hills at 49 right now. Cave Creek 47, Surprise 49, Peoria 48. Everybody's temperature is dipped a couple of degrees as we get closer to that official sunrise time, which is at 6:37 this morning. Now for your valley planner for today, yes, a lot of events have canceled, but I am told that the Renaissance Fest has decided to continue for the weekend out in Gold Canyon. MESA this evening will still put on Shen Yun at the MESA Arts Center. So hour by hour, here's what our warm-up looks like. We warm to 57 by 8 o'clock. By lunchtime today, we're in the mid-60s, and then I do think we make it into the low 70s this afternoon with mild temperatures overnight back into the 60s by 8 o'clock. Tomorrow, hour by hour, we're just a little bit warmer so that when we reach our peak temperature of the day tomorrow, it's closer to 73 degrees. Here's what we look like for today, though. A high of 71 in Peoria and Glendale, as well as Tempe and Ahwatukee. A little bit warmer in Chandler and Gilbert, warming to 72 degrees, but places like Apache Junction, Cave Creek, Anthem, Wickenburg, and Surprise all looking to stay in the mid to upper 60s today. So cooler temperatures for you, but you will see sunny skies. We're also well below the average for this time of year. We should be sitting at 76 degrees. We'll see similar temperatures to our south, upper 60s and low 70s, 71 in Casa Grande, 72 in Tucson, Safford warming to 70 degrees today. And then to our north, it's going to be a cool day in Payson in the 40s, Sedona in the 50s, and then north of the rim, we'll see a mix of low 50s and mid 40s. Now, Futurecast is showing us we could continue to see some snow flurries in the higher elevations of Prescott and the Grand Canyon, some passing showers in Kingman, Lake Havasu City, Prescott, and Sedona areas. You've all got about a 20% chance of rain throughout the afternoon today. Those rain chances continue through the afternoon. Around 3 o'clock, we could see some heavier storms to the far northern portions of our state near the Grand Canyon and Page areas. We could see some pockets of snow as well and thunderstorm activity. Up in Flagstaff for the rest of the weekend, you start to get a little warmer tomorrow as we dry out in the mid-50s, and we stay in the 50s for the next couple of days. Here in the valley, we get warmer day by day, mid-70s tomorrow, upper 70s by Monday, and then we're tracking a storm system that will bring more rain come Wednesday. I'll show you how long that will last coming up in that full 7-day forecast in just a little bit.
Imagine paying on your student loans for years and then finding none of the money went towards the loans. Coming up, how some students are being held responsible and how you can know if it's happening to you.
And buy a sub and help spread hope to sick kids at the same time. Jersey Mike's is sponsoring the ABC15 Telethon, benefiting Phoenix Children's Hospital with their month of giving. Every time you go to Jersey Mike's this month, you can donate to the telethon. Then on March 25th, it gets even better. All Valley Jersey Mike's are going to donate 100% of the money from every sale to the telethon, so we hope to see you out there on March 25th. Now, you may remember it, the famous Phoenix Lights of 1997, the UFO event, became one of the most witnessed things and talked about things in the Valley in mass modern history when it comes to UFOs. And this week, we're coming up on the 23rd anniversary of the kind of unexplained event, although much has been made of it. Dr. Lynn Kitai, if I'm pronouncing that correct. Kitai is now joining us, and you have researched this extensively and done kind of a lot of looking at this event. You know, we're coming up on 23 years. Has the hype died down? Do we know anything more about it?
Actually, it's become so important in the annals of ufology, not only worldwide, but because it is the most witnessed, most documented, and most important mass anomalous aerial sighting in history, possibly, because so many people saw it. We have 35mm documentation that I actually shot myself. That's why I came forward after 7 years of anonymity. As a medical doctor, I did not want to come forward, knew nothing about the topic. But after thousands of people were outside purposely looking up at the sky for a glimpse of the Hale-Bopp comet, they also got a glimpse of mile to, now we've learned from the National UFO Reporting Center, that possibly 8 miles wide of these orbs, these lights that seem to be attached to something in V or boomerang shape, or actual craft. And it wasn't just 1 or 2 events as you would hear in the media. It was actually many events for over a dozen hours, and not just in Arizona, but in New Mexico, California, and Nevada as well. And after I pushed my medical career aside for 7 years, had a 750-page journal with such credible data. This has been happening for centuries and worldwide, and how it affected the people at such a deep level here, that I finally came forward in 2004 with the first edition of the book, and now we have the 4th edition of the book.
Wow.
And our documentary, which actually we were going to show tomorrow at the Scottsdale Hark and Shea Theater, but unfortunately, because of the situation and being prudent and compassionate, and it's the right thing to do, we've postponed it, and we'll let our viewers know when it is rescheduled. And now we also have a graphic novel activities coloring book for all ages. So people, it's 150 pages, just packed with information, and also the Phoenix Lights Network website.
And this has really captured kind of the imagination and curiosity of people around the world. But Phoenix, I know, hosts a UFO convention. I mean, this is one of the things that no one's been able to explain, but everyone knows what they saw that day.
Exactly. You know, we don't know what it was, but we know that it was. And it's time to get this out in the open and to stop with the ridicule and the snickering. Now Navy pilots are coming forward with video that they cannot explain, and they admit that it is just unexplained. It can't be denied. And so it's time to get this out in the open and discuss it and accept it and study it, so we can move forward, not only find out who's driving these things, but move forward in our own evolution.
And a lot of people are wondering, will we ever see it again? That is a question I don't think anyone can answer, but obviously you take a deep dive look. Dr. Kitai, thank you, thank you so much for coming into our studio today. And I know a lot of people will be revisiting it after seeing this segment going onto YouTube. We appreciate your time, and we'll look forward to seeing your documentary when it comes back after the postponement. So
Phoenix Lights Network website, take a peek. There's lots to explore and consider.
Absolutely. Thanks for your time. No, hey.